I had received a mysterious text message from an albino called Snowy. It told me to go into this car park, and on the 6th level, I would meet one of the world's top former football players. He was gonna give me some dirt on the whole conspiracy. And it's a whopper of a conspiracy that goes back to the Jesus times, with a prophet by the name of Socrates predicting all the World Cup results.
France 3, Brazil 0.
Results that were stolen from village idiots by medieval knights and sexy chicks. And all these results were hidden in a special code in the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci. That was in the last episode. If you missed it, sucked in.
Just zoom in, get a shot. He's there, mate. Can you see him?
Walking up to him, I was amazed. This fat South American is one of the world's most famous players. For legal reasons, I can't say who it is, but his name starts with M, and he was in the Argentinian football team. He told me everyone in the major competitions, they're all involved.
Players, the coaches, everybody.
Then he gave me the number of some chicks.
251, 72.
These were apparently the blood relatives of the sexy medieval ones who started the whole thing. He said he hated the Circle Society because they don't tolerate obesity.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think I'm so good? Huh?
I would have talked more, but he was trying to get me to buy some little bag of some stuff off him. Leave it alone, Maradonga. Notice I changed the name. Don't cry for him, Argentina. He's on the blow.
Coke residue on the fingers, mate. But I got the number from him. Let's get out of here. Very dangerous in this town, mate. We're locked. Is that a van? Me down, mate. Get out of the car, huh? Get out of the car, you poof!
As he's driven past, I recognise the stooge. He's a secret Circle Society assassin. He also works for the German government. He had a crack. He tried to stab me, but he's gone down like a beard Oktoberfest. You big German poof! Escape of my life once again. But as I walked along the overrated and over-graffitied Berlin Wall, it made me think back to the massive effort that got us here. It started in the south of France. Baldy, the cousin of a famous World Cup referee, kept leaving us clues. These clues led us to secret tunnels underneath the Louvre.
You can see all the bones from them who've gone against the conspiracy, mate. Look at them.
Another secret message led us to Berlin's World Cup Stadium.
All the fans are going to be sitting here.
Then a sniper tried to take me out. Just after that, we met a whistleblower by the name of Hans Berger.
It's all about money and power.
A day after the interview, Hans was killed.
There's been like a car bomb.
Before he died, Hans gave us the secret necklace of the Circle Society. This necklace allowed us to infiltrate their meetings.
Get a sneaky shot around the corner quick, man. Have a look. They're all in there. Look at them.
And we snuck down into a bunker where they have orgies and lists of the grand wizards that run the conspiracy around the world. But right now, it was time to follow up on the number that Maradonga has given us. Yeah. We hooked up a meeting at this restaurant. There was two of them, both blonde, and there was two things I noticed straight away. Number one, you can still smoke in German pubs and restaurants. Number two, the cameraman would not stop zooming on the chicks' milkers. Their names was Hilda here and Heidi there. direct blood descendants of the sexy medieval chicks. In case you're a stooge and haven't been watching, the sexy medieval chicks were girlfriends of the original crusading knights that brought the prophecies of Socorus to Europe. These same knights were ball worshippers who kicked off the whole circle society. And it was the knights who instructed the chicks to inscribe Socorus' results onto 3 Holy Grail buckets. So we're here and we've been having some beers and some schnitzels, and the schnitzel was a mouthful.
I have 2 schnitzel.
Oh yeah, she said you got a joke. That's a top joke. You could tell they was related to the sexy medieval chicks. I was getting a big Zeppelin in my pants. Do you train at an early age on the sexiness? Who teaches you?
My mom.
So your mum?
Yeah, my mom tells me.
And are these secret techniques passed down by the generations, like from one sexy chick to the next?
Yeah.
They told me back in history the word bimbo derived from their great-great-grandmother, Bimbolina, and these bimbo ways were designed to turn men on. A great technique was flattery.
You are like, whoo! And I saw you and I thought, whoa, fuck, hey, that's cool.
How did you know I was like part of the club?
I've seen this one. I've seen it here. Look at this one.
She was talking about the circle cross necklace that I got as part of my infiltration of the group. I decided it was time to do more infiltrating. I think we need to go and do some research now.
Yeah.
Research?
Yeah, research.
I thought I was just getting a threesome, but I was actually being initiated into one of the ceremonial rites of the Circle Society. I cannot show the film of the initiation ceremony. It's rude, it's X-rated, and the less you know, the better. But I did pass.
Mate, having this cross is the best, mate. The amount of benefits you get, like, you can't believe it.
Now, the chicks told me because I passed the initiation, I was then allowed to get the handbook of all secret society members. You have to pick it up here at Checkpoint Charlie. There's a chick waiting there for you. You just flash the cross.
That's it, I got it, you see, that's it.
And then you get the book.
This is the book. I've got it, mate. I'm excited. The infiltration's worked, mate. We've got the book. That stupid chick, she didn't suspect nothing.
Needing a sneaky place to check out the book, I've gone to the top of the Berlin Tower. It's one of them hokey revolving restaurants where the food is crap and the prices are high. Good view, but... The Secrets of the Circle Society! The book confirms all my suspicions. Basically, the Secret Society makes all its money by betting on World Cup games, because they've got Socorus' results. They know what's going to happen. There was an interesting section on the name of the group.
They used to have some Latin name that translated to "We love balls," but they didn't really like that once they got the English translation because the guys come off as a bit gay, so they changed it to the Circle of Sion Society.
There was stuff about secret handshakes, the removal of stains from orgy cloaks, and the chapter on initiation said, once you've had a threesome with the chicks and you've got the cross, you have all the rights of a fully fledged member. It also has a section on the Holy Grail buckets. Now remember, the church had banned orgies and all football playing. So the knights and the chicks secretly hid the grails around the world. Now we know that one stayed in France because Leonardo da Vinci found it. Some of the knights from France took the second bucket to Malta, but unfortunately it disappeared in a sea crash off the coast. And one was apparently taken to Rio de Janeiro in South America and buried in a secret spot by the conquistadors.
So we've done good in Berlin, man. I mean, we've got the book. I've got this thing here, this necklace, but I'm throwing it away when I get to the airport. I mean, look at it, mate, time to move on.
We'd learned heaps about the conspiracy, but to fully smash it, we had to find one of them Holy Grail buckets. So I've come here to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The country is bananas over football, and you can see the influence of the conspiracy even at the beach. The chicks' booties even look like soccer balls, man. Now, this place here has nothing to do with the documentary, but just look at the way the chicks shake their booties. Have a look. Keep looking. All right, that's enough. I'd heard a rumour they were digging for the Holy Grail bucket underneath the National Brazil Football Stadium. I was surprised to find a museum at the entry of the stadium. I've had a look in there. I found Pele's footprints. I wondered if he was involved. Suddenly, the constipation from the jet lag was lifting. I needed a toilet. When I got there, I found the guy doing ball tricks for spare change and tips. I recognised his face as he bounced that ball on his head a zillion times. He's the son of one of the most famous World Cup players ever, but we can't mention the bloke's name for legal reasons. I asked him if he knew about the conspiracy. He told me that his old man had gone against the group and they chemically castrated him. That's why he was doing them stiffy commercials. Oh, I mean, like if it was that famous player that we can't mention. I asked him about the Holy Grail bucket. He said, mate, you're too late. They dug it up 3 weeks ago from under the stadium. They're just filling in the hole now. I wanted to ask him more, but he just would not stop playing with that ball, doing stupid tricks. It was pathetic to see someone whose family was that high sink that low to the toilet floor. And just a medical fact, testicular tinea can cause erectile dysfunctions. And just like his old man, the trail had gone soft. I decided to go to Malta, the only other place where there might be a Holy Grail bucket. If you've never heard of Malta, here's a quick look. It was basically a giant fort, built by knights to fight the Turks back in the days before people appreciated kebab shops. The thought of kebabs made me want to get food.
I just got a pasticci. Very famous in Malta. Most famous food. It's delicious. It's a champ pasticci shop, mate. We've got so much in common.
I realised Malta had been a good move. You can see ball, sexy chick, and night architecture across the island. And look at these dummies. They got the same cross on their shirt like me, the Maltese cross. That pumped me up. And then I noticed all the other things that was pumped. I had to snap myself out of it, so I went somewhere boring. The Maltese National Library. I went looking for the books with pictures section. They didn't have one. But then I came in this room, and look what I found, man. This must be actually something to do with the whole thing, because if you look up on like that bit up there, you can see it, mate. The 3 Grail buckets clearly there. And there's a knight up there with a medieval sexy chick. I needed big clues, so I went for the biggest book I could find. It was old and dusty. Gives you allergies. When I accidentally ripped this most probably a priceless book, I noticed a heading at the bottom of the page. The Legend of the Secret Grotto. Different to the other legends, this one said that when that ship crashed with the French knights, the Grail was not lost. In fact, one knight survived. He managed to swim to shore with the Grail bucket on his head. The Grail was then hidden in a circle-shaped grotto, and he carved a circle marker out of stone in the shape of the entrance. The book said if you could find the marker, then you could find the grotto. Then you could find the Grail. Just then I heard someone coming. I jumped up, hid in the cupboard and pretended to be a book, with pictures and a backpack. When the coast was clear, I rushed out of there. Time to check the Circle Society handbook. I'm sure I read something that might have been about a grotto.
Here it is. Ye can look verily, the Grail is neither below the waters or above. There's a place in Malta called the Blue Grotto, man. I reckon that's something to do with it, man. That's something to do with it. I'm just gonna eat a pizza and then I'm gonna go quick.
Now, I started heading for the Blue Grotto, but I hadn't even got one block and this old bloke's popped up. He said, man, there's a bloke who wants to talk to you behind that giant gate over there. He said, keep walking till you see a giant red door. I said, man, what's this all about? Who lives behind the red door? You wouldn't believe it.
That's the Grand Wizard Master's house. I've been knocking for 15 minutes, man. Knock, knock. Who's there? Sickos, mate. Sickos who? The Secret Circle Society, that's who, mate. Come out, you stooge.
What kind of game are they playing? Invite me in, then shut me out? You want to stooge me? Well, man, I'll stooge you back. First, I tried the back gate. It was locked. So I've jumped the fence. Got in the courtyard, done a tip-top sneaky military run. In the compound, I've marched up the stairs, and I've confronted the Grand Wizard Master of the Secret Circle Society of Malta. I said, are you trying to be a smart ass? You invite me here and then you won't answer the door? Surprisingly, he apologised. He said he'd had a bad pastizzi and was stuck on the toilet. To be honest, I was expecting a punch-up, but the bloke was really friendly. He said, Pauly, we know what you're up to. We've been expecting you. But man, I was sneaky. How did he even know I was in Malta?
Sometimes you hear things.
He told me to stop flexing and relax. Now I'd been initiated. He was quite happy to share the secrets with me.
Have stories, even conspiracy. Lots.
Right now it was Circle Society show and tell. Here's a big circle torture device they used to use. Here's a really weird version of the Last Supper. You can tell they hate the church. Look at that. Jesus has got a guy in a headlock and he's given a bloke a head slap. That's slap religious, man. And then we came to what he called the inner sanctum. This is where the Secret Circle Society has all its major international meetings.
This was the first United Nations. This was the first United Europe, you know, the first...
Because all the knights were here from all the
European
different
because
countries.
they all came from...
This chamber was built by the soccer-loving knights who were forced out of Europe by the church. So he's told me Malta became their new base. And it was from Malta that the Secret Circle Society started growing big in Europe again. These days, the room is mostly used around World Cup time. They put up a giant plasma screen, watch the games, and laugh as the cash just comes rolling in. Then he was keen to show me the orgy rituals. First, you put on these cloaks.
So basically, the cape was on, then they put on this special outfit here with that pointy hat.
Dressed up, you got to walk up this orifice tunnel to the orgy room. First up, you come in here, sit down and watch a porno on a big screen.
They can take about 300 people very easily.
Then they get nude, stack up the chairs, and bada bing, bada boo.
You don't have to adopt uncomfortable or weird positions.
I was kind of interested. I thought maybe there'd be all those booty chicks from Brazil. Then he showed me the beauts who really turn up to these orgies. It looked just like a swingers club, mostly guys, and the chicks are over 50. He couldn't understand why I wasn't interested. It was about as sexy as licking somebody's old Band-Aid. On the way to the Blue Grotto, I found the Church of St. Paul, or St. Pauly as I like to call him. He had his own grotto. I went down to have a look at it. There he is. I got down on my knees and I prayed to him for help. Then, strangely, I heard a voice.
Look over there at that hole.
I could see something in the dark corner. There was an opening, and I think there was a room behind there.
Get in there, you stooge.
I might have been losing it, but I followed the statue's advice. I've gone in. I'd come through to some ancient catacombs. Look, skeletons. They could have been the bones of maybe priests, knights, hobbits. They exist, don't they? That would explain why these caves are so small.
There's barely enough room to flex. I don't know the significance of all this stuff, mate, but it's a bit freaky.
It was getting hard to navigate. I needed 2 gadgets.
Laser pointer and glow stick.
We've gone deeper and deeper, and then we had our first setback.
The laser pointer's run out of battery. I knew I shouldn't have zigzagged it too much. I'll admit we're lost. I'll go back that way. No, 1 minute. Come this way. Nah, actually that way's gonna be better.
I found a set of stairs and I went up. And look what was in this chamber. We found a circle table with what looked like it could have been the stone circle marker that was carved by the shipwrecked knight.
It's got the mark of the knights, and I've authenticated it
with my $2 shop like light pen, and with this thing, we can try and find the grail bucket, mate, I reckon. I'm gonna have to knock it off because we need it to bust the conspiracy and that. It's probably been here for 2,000 years or whatever, how many years, but I'm just gonna knock it off.
The search for the Holy Grail bucket. I didn't have time to work out how the marker ended up underneath that church. My priority was getting to the Blue Grotto.
Straight. Straight? Yes.
Ignoring the old bloke's advice, I went left, down the hill, so I could look more action-packed hero style. I ended up at this circle rock formation. Time to do some mountain climbing, which is very dangerous, mate. I could slip and get killed. Whoa! Just joking. At the bottom, I found a fishing village. My plan was find some chocos with boats and hire one. This guy was going to be the driver. His name was Gaitu. I bullshitted Gaitu and told him I was from Playboy magazine and was looking for a top spot to do nude shots with chicks.
He doesn't know what's going on.
I knew this was coming up to my last chance. To bust the conspiracy, I have to find a cave that looks like a circle.
Let's look over there, mate.
When we've come to this section, Gaitu's told me that 3 weeks ago they discovered an ancient anchor just underneath where we was now. Apparently from the boat of the crashed knights.
I've got this thing here, like it's a secret kind of thing to line it up with one of the caves. I've got to line it up. When it matches, then you know that you're like exactly where it's hidden, mate, according to the legend.
Over the next 2.5 hours, we looked at heaps of caves, man.
No, let's go over this one. Let's have a look here.
But the thing is, when you're really looking that hard, you start to see circles everywhere, man.
It's close, but it's not it. Now let's try another one.
1 minute, Gaitu's pointing out something else. Ah, man, I thought we'd found it.
Circle and square don't match. Let's go, mate.
I think Gaitu's dyslexic with shapes.
That's a circle and that was a square. That's not going to match.
I was thinking, man, that's it. Pack it in. I'm going home back to Australia. And that's when I seen it. The circle cave. I lined it up. It matched perfectly, mate.
As you're driving in, this matches up from the distance. We're that close, man. I think we just have to go a bit deeper. Let's go deeper.
We went cautiously through this rock tunnel, and as we've come out the other side, I realised we'd found the Blue Grotto. See, look at this. If you put your hand in the water, it turns blue. I was starting to believe all the legends were true. Look at that crack in the rocks. That could be a secret entrance.
I'm thinking we found it. So I might have to jump in, go in there and check it out, but I'm just going to jump in, all right? I'm just going to dive in. Don't worry, I'm a good swimmer.
Time to get a grail, bust a conspiracy, smash the Circle Society, and make the World Cup the fair, beautiful game it was always meant to be.
You couldn't believe it. I've been on top of the harbour bridge. I've got that much cash now. You just wouldn't believe it. Like, whoa, Gator, take it easy, mate. What are you doing, stooge? What's this? Get out of it, mate. Leave me alone, all right? Look, I found nothing in the cave. This boat, I'll admit, is mine. But I won lotto when I've just come back to Australia, like on the first day, from a scratchy. And Gator, just as coincidence, just came out on a holiday. And look, don't film the chicks because they're just friends from school. So it was all bullshit. There was nothing in the cave. There's no Circle Society. Now leave me alone with the chicks, mate, because we're talking about sports. Switch it off, mate. Switch it off, mate. I'll throw the soccer ball at the camera. I will, man, all right? Mate, I've got plenty of them. I don't care if I lose it in the harbour. I swear to God, man.
I just want to make money, money, money. The dollars, the dollars.
This program brought to you by Tui's New.